Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a high plat, I believe, Winston player. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out, lets me keep doing this, really does make a difference. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord through the description below, and in there you can see my rates, you can connect with the community, they're pretty cool if I do say so myself, and see what else we've got going on in terms of promotions, memes, events, all sorts of stuff as we continue here. So let's take a look. Hey, I think that's great, Scorcher. I think you should love you, and you're part of the community, so it all works out. So I don't really like this early bubble deployment. They aren't really looking at you meaningfully yet. You're also poked at a time, so if we look at this, there's a couple things that I'd say. Your team isn't really here yet. Your ball has gone in early, and that's unfortunate, and your ball's gone in early, and your Genshi's gone. So this is sort of already over. Your backline isn't really ready to contribute to this yet. So unless you think U plus ball or U plus ball and Mercy are going to get an elimination, it's not really time for you to open this angle for you to peek yet. This is kind of just early, as I was saying. Okay. Why are we? I'm not holding down any buttons, guys. I'm not holding down any buttons. Okay. Please stop. Please give me control again. Game. You've got to be kidding me. What are we doing? I can't pause. I can't pull up my replay controls. I'm just dead. Okay. Give me just a moment, I guess. Okay, that's a start. Cool, we'll go with it. Sorry about that distraction. We hope we have control again. I was going into outer space. Okay, so this is early for the reasons we said. This bubble is also early. So you're peaking early and your bubble is early. No one is even looking at you yet. You're not protecting yourself from Ashe. You're not protecting yourself from Zarya. They're not even looking yet. And as soon as you lay down your bubble, that bubble is an anchor. So, like, your bubble is now an anchor that you sort of want to play within, and it won't be this big. If you look at where it actually deploys, let's let it actually deploy just for the sake of proving my point. You're now kind of stuck in this spot. Well, A, there's no one to zap here. B, no one was looking at you when you deployed this bubble. C, if you did want to try and finish someone off that your Hammond did a good job of softening up, etc., you'd have wanted to be able to drop and go chase them and then drop your bubble and sort of keep them inside your bubble spot, etc., because you're stuck in your bubble. So you're not stuck in your bubble, but you lose health if you leave your bubble effectively for the pursue here. So you wanted your bubble to be like here so that you could continue and finish the McCree, etc. Like, this bubble was too early. The peak was too early. I hope that made sense. If not, well, that's a shame. That's the first time you've done damage and you've used 40% of your clip. Again, this is you dropping like we always expected to happen, but now you can't use a bubble, which you might want to in a moment when the Ashe shoots at you. This isn't really making it meaningfully easier for your team to push the card, to be perfectly honest. You are not trading favorably with health either. When your jump got sort of messed up, you probably wanted to try to land here rather than land back here. I know you were trying to get out here, but you probably wanted to try to get here after things went wrong. Okay. Okay, so At least the Ash is looking at you this time, and the Bap is looking at you this time. But again, I don't think you really wanted to be here. I don't think you can do enough from here. I think what you want to do is just wait the extra second and a half to get your leap back, leap to here, and then zap from here. And then if you need to deploy your bubble, so be it, etc. But this is just sort of like, hey, we're early, we're just dropping, we're not really on anyone. This isn't very good. And you're going to go to here, right? You're going to go right here. It's going to be beautiful. The enemy team is going to be like, what? There's a Winston that knows how to tank in Plat? No, they're not. Instead, you went into 4 people without your bubble available. Now you have to lay a bad bubble that you can't do much from, and you have no health, so as soon as you have your leap back, you're still going to have to leave rather than get value out of your bubble. Yeah. How you're thinking about the engagement, how you're going in, it's not right. We want to go in when our team can take advantage of stuff. We want to go in when our team is a credible threat. We want to go in when them paying attention to us means our team can take them down, or them paying attention to our team means we can stay on them for a long time. And we want to do softer dives than you're doing. Not, the little pathetic I'm standing here, but softer dives like this where it's like, hey, I'm diving for positioning. I can do work from here. I can back up around this if they put any amount of pressure on me and still have 300 plus health plus my bubble available. And they can't just forget about you when you have 300 plus health and your bubble and leap available. They have to continue to remember that you're there, even if you literally just sit AFK behind this. They have to continue remembering that you're there and thinking about you because you're a credible threat to re-enter the fight if you still have more than 300 health left. Monkey does like high ground. TT's got it. I don't mind you leaping out here, but leaping out here, give your Mercy a different access angle to the fight, makes you continue to be able to threaten from a different side. It's not like Mercy would be afraid to come over and heal you over here. She just do a little Guardian Angel, hop past, heal you up. Then she can boost, ball from here, boost Genji when he comes in. It'd be great. She would love you giving her better map control, in fact. She has plenty of options to GA2 over here already. No, not yet. Okay. I'm not sure who your second target was. Ash was your primary. I'm not sure who your secondary was. If you're using primary rage to try and get eliminations, you should be trying to get 2 specific targets down. And Ash was one of them, and that's fine. But I'm not sure if your second was Lucio, if it was I'm going to displace the Reinhardt, or if it was I'm just going to generically move people around. And generically move people around is not what your primary rage does if you're picking specific targets to eliminate, which is generally better. Yes, forcing enemy hit scans off high ground on Winston is super valuable. Not quite sure what that was about. Okay. Okay. And just leap again. Yep. It's fine.
Onward and upward.
You can practice them, man. It's really not that hard to... Well, okay. It is one of the harder things in the game to get good at, but it's not that hard to get good at. It's not the impossible task that some people will lead you to believe. If you actually do a drill on it and, spend 5 hours on the drill 1 week, or maybe, 20 hours in a month, and then go 1 hour a week from there, you'll retain your mechanics. They'll be fine. Yes, that is a big investment. I'm assuming you're a tank player if you're going to make it. Your team isn't ready. If this is a soft dive, it's better than it being a hard dive. If your plan is to land here, that's better than you landing in their team, etc. But your team can't really contribute to this. Even your soft dives, you sort of like your team to be a little bit of a threat so that they can't just hard tunnel you. And if they do hard tunnel you going for the soft dive onto the space or the dive for space, etc., your team gets to at least take some shots at them, etc. Okay, so it was soft, but you burned bubble. And you're less than half health. Well, you're half health.
This will protect us. Hello.
Go above them. Go above the high side. No, above the high side. You can't. You're making Mercy pocket you. You can stand on this. You can. You wouldn't keep it for long because more of them would turn and shoot you, but you could then, just slide down this, etc. But hey, we'll deal. This is not how Winston Bubble gets used. This makes me a sad monkey reviewer. Winston Bubble is for blocking specific things. Winston Bubble could be used to block sleep darts, nades. It could be used to block scoped widow shots. It could be used to block a grab for all I care. That's not perfect. But you're using Winston Bubbles with an intent to block specific things. And I don't mind if that specific thing is something like, say, looking at the opposing team, ash shots. I don't mind if that specific thing is ash shots, but I want you to know what you're blocking with that bubble and why you're using that bubble. You're just using a bubble because there's threats sort of attacking you, etc. And it's like I'm dropping my bubble so that it'll block the Zarya that's behind the Reinhardt. Ew, no. Ew. That's terrible. Is using this bubble enabling you to do anything? No, it's not. Plus the Reinhardt, his swings don't get blocked by the bubble, but they do damage the bubble. Like, this is just bad. On this team, the priority things for your bubble to block, by the way, are sleep, nade, and flashbang. I don't mind if you block, hey, I'm specifically blocking ash shots, etc. Hey, I'm blocking earth shatter. That's another good thing to block. But this is not a good thing to be using bubble for. You dropped a bubble so that McCree could go, oh, hey, I'm gonna fan for fun. Like, ugh. This is still too early. Your team is back here. You are primaling. It is very hard to get eliminations, even on squishies, when their entire team can pay attention to you. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Even with great primal mechanics, it's hard because 1,000 health really is not very much health in modern Overwatch if 6 people are looking at you. What's going to happen here is you are going to get burned down almost instantly. You'll get out alive, but you're not going to do any work. No, you didn't get out alive. Your team did nothing during this. It was nice of them to donate High Noon to you there. They didn't have to take you down. And your team pushed the cart a little distance that wasn't going to be contested anyways. And now they can contest it here with Bob because they're up 1 and they know they can take their 6v5. This cart space from here to here was free. They weren't going to do anything more than poke at you a little bit, and you were doing an okay job of contesting that from the corner here. That's what you wanted to continue to do. You needed to let your team get into a position where they could do work before you went deeper, or, my preference, went, say, over here and played from this high ground and bothered their back line, and then broke line of sight, and then dropped, and then walked here and zapped them, and then had leap to get out if you had to, etc., because you'd use your first leap safely to take high ground, which buys you time on the next one for your approach, etc. That's how you want to play this as Winston. I have a question. By the way, is bubble better for selfish use or to cut off their MT from healing? It's more consistent for selfish use, but I'm not going to say it's better for one or the other because it is usable for that. In fact, very specific team comps have been built specifically around using it for that, and it is very valid for that.
Bad guys.
My thanks.
Further experimentation required. Payload in transit.
No one is looking at you. No one is looking at you. Why are you bubbling?
This will protect us.
Heroes never.
Only physics.
This was wrong. I understand why you're trying to get out this way back to your team, etc. But he's used charge. You're having to sort of walk through him, and if he was better, he'd have body blocked you and not let you. You instead wanted to go, yeah, frick it, I'll go this way, and then you can go leap up here, drop back for the pack, come back through, etc. Or hey, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this way, hop up here, come back here, touch the mini, come back out here. Those were all better than what you did. You getting out here was not guaranteed, and you will take more damage trying to get out this way than you would have otherwise. And your team, he can't threaten your team. Like, you're fine. Don't drop bubble. Don't drop bubble. Don't drop. Okay. Are you worried about Brig whip-shotting you away? Are you trying to block whip-shot? Because if Brig whip-shots you away, she's doing you a favor right now. And you're not blocking her swinging of the whip. Her swinging of the whip will hurt your bubble and you, and it doesn't care that the bubble's there. It's just like, oh, hey, I get to do free damage to this extra thing. Yeah, your bubble can mess up her bash, but really? Your Mercy's healing you and you're in line of sight of your Ana. You're fine. The bash isn't a big concern. So the only other option is you're trying to block because you're worried that the Ana was going to do something to you right here. But honestly, my answer there is you should have just been a step back where she can't. You can literally be a step back where she can't and go, Briggs, if you come forward, you're going to have to fight me in my team's line of sight, and by the way, the card is moving. You shouldn't even be here right now. If you were going to use leap, it should have been to go up here. It could have been to go up here. It could have been to go up here. But you just shouldn't have used leap. And you definitely shouldn't have used bubble here.
Almost ready.
Ana walked in here to nade you? We'll turn and deal with that. Yeah. You dropped too early. You didn't have enough health to be redropping here. I'm glad that worked out. Another way of saying that is I'm glad that Ana fed, but hey.
Damn it. My ultimate is ready. The payload has reached the check.
Hello.
Hello.
I have the right stuff.
Let's get you back out there.
Ultimate ready.
The payload. Move it out.
I was actually okay with that bubble. I'm not going to touch my speed up button. The thing will bug out. We're just going to suffer.
Further experimentation required.
Огонь по готовности.
Hi there. My ultimate is almost ready.
You saw the Reaper teleport. Why would you go here? You saw the Reaper teleport. Okay. It's a good combo. Primal Minds is a valid combo. You can get him. You gotta be better, but you can get him. You reloaded at 88 ammo there. I'm annoyed. Because that almost saved the Reaper's life.
This will protect us.
Okay. It's not a good bubble, but, you know, at least it was cleanup phase. You knew the status of that health pack. That was kind of dicey.
Heroes never die.
The payload.
Okay. This is a nanoed armored Reinhardt. You do like almost 0 damage to this. Just leap past it and go fight something else. You can't meaningfully protect your team from this. Just leap past it and fight something else, or decide that this fight is over and leave. Those are options. Did you get trans? You got trans? Just leave. Just leave. It's over.
Step right up.
Yeah, now you're just staggering. Please go up and out here. Please just go out, hop up over here, come back, get healed by your team. It'll be great. Do that. You can't. You're hacked. Okay. Have fun. This is a stagger. Okay.
Hello there.
And your team captured while you were gone. Fine by me. Okay, so the biggest thing we're seeing is just not understanding high ground. I want you to be using your leap a lot more often to take high ground, and I want you to not bubble until enemies are actually looking at you, and enemies that you can actually block stuff from are looking at you, like McCree, Ashe, Anna, etc., not Briggs, Reinhardt. Okay.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
Have you seen
Attackers.
my
Ready for battle.
For red
Ready
fireworks,
for
use a
5,
strontium
4,
compound. For red
3.
fireworks,
No,
use a
there is no
strontium
permanent doom
compound.
vest.
Attackers incoming.
Try burying.
Stop the payload.
Why are you getting damage boost? This isn't a particularly good bubble. Your version of driving back the Sigma is sure I'm going to zap him, and I'm going to zap him from here, and I'm going to zap him from here, and I'm going to zap him like this. Not I'm going to chase him, because then of course I'm going to get shot by the Ashe that's over here, or the Zen that's over here, or the McCree that's over here. Like you always know. You have no poke phase, so you don't chase people out into the open unless you believe you can get finishes, and you're not going to get a finish on a tank like that. You just go, no, I'm going to tank trade with you. I'm going to tickle you a bit. I'm going to leech some health, not let you have that if you try to go this way. That's all you're doing. You're not actually like going in off of this, etc., unless your team has made big changes elsewhere. Like if your team calls that, oh, hey, mercy critical, okay, then maybe you leap in or something. But like you don't follow this out into the open. You literally just go, no, I don't follow you. I don't follow you out here. I don't then pop my bubble to try to stay here, because you were never going to get a finish by using your bubble. You were never going to get a finish on this Sigma. So don't spend your bubble. Okay. I don't like this, but okay. You're discorded. Please don't go in.
Barrier activated.
You are not Reinhardt. This is not how we use our bubble. We don't go, I'm going to stand in front of the card and bubble to win the shield war. Not a thing.
Let's get you back out there. Sometimes
Fall back.
your support has
Hi
a
there.
Okay, let's take a
My
look.
ultimate is charging.
Are you going in without your team? Please just turn around. Please just turn around. You'll get another contest chance. Do not stagger yourself here. No, you're about to feed ult charge even if you don't stagger. You're not going to have this back, this bubble that you just wasted, before you actually need to fight them right here. Like, this is a big cooldown that you just spent. This is a 13-second cooldown that you just spent, and you need to take a fight with your team in about 8 seconds right here, and you're not going to have it. That's part of why I don't want you going in when we're still waiting on the team, etc.
This will protect us.
Rendezvous at my position.
Okay, now you have to go in. Your Reaper totally did his job. Your version of going in, however, can literally be leaping and landing on this. It's pretty easy, honestly. You land on this, and then you zap them from here. If you don't like what you find, you drop over here. If you see the McCree over here, you zap him, etc. Like, he won't easily be able to get a headshot on you. Okay, he can, but you get the idea. Like, if you're not looking at him, he won't easily get a headshot on you. How's that? So, like, your move, since you're so far back and you're Reaper just hard went in, you have to leap. And you can either leap in, or you can leap to here and start zapping them from here. But you can't walk over. It's too slow. This is a hard commit that has to happen right here. Okay, you're going to push the two, right? Even though you won't be able to get eliminations over there, you are going to pressure the Ash Mercy, right? Good. Okay. You're going to have to pressure the Ash again the instant your bubble's up. No! 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 Your ball can hold card.
This will protect us.
Okay, fight him. Try to take the ISO situation you've got. Good. Good. Good salvage. Oh no. You're gonna get stuck primaling here. Good. Oh, okay, we're not gonna move that. Okay. I am glad that you sort of salvaged that situation with the primal there. That was a bad leap that you did, which you turned into something okay with the primal, and you then went down. But that could have been much worse.
For red fireworks, use a strong team.
Heroes never die.
Try burying.
A blind leap in here? I don't really like it. If you're blind leaping, I'd prefer you to land here or here, where you at least have a moment to reassess. You can still hit fat cleaves, but you have a moment to reassess. You see, if you look at the checkpoint, it's not listing meters yet, which means you still have a little bit before it gets there. So you don't have to blind leap at it quite yet. You can leap with a little more intelligence, elegance, wisdom, whatever, knowledge, whatever quality we want to give Winston. You're treating that like a Reinhardt barrier, and it's just not.
Stop the payload.
Further experimentation required. Coming through. Hey. Oh, excuse me.
I'm not sure you had time for this one. Okay. Like this time it is saying a small number of meters, and you did a max height jump, long and arcing and away from the cart. Who's looking at you? This bubble is just a reflex for you, and you have to break this reflex. This is like when I yell at McCree's for just reloading with 2 shots, and it's clearly just become a reflex, or Zarya's for reloading, you know, anytime that they break line of sight for an instant, or there's not an enemy on the screen for an instant. This has become part of your rotation, like, oh, I get on an enemy and I immediately bubble. That's just part of your rotation, and no, that is not a thing. Your bubble has to be used with more, intentionality than that. It has to be used because you're intentionally going, hey, I'm using this bubble specifically to block a flash that I'm worried about coming in. Or I'm using this specifically so that I don't get discorded. Or I'm using this to block a hack. Or even I'm using this to finish this half-health Reaper that I need to be able to dance with my bubble for, etc. Like, I don't mind using your bubble to block damage, but you've got to know what that damage you're using it to block is and why it's important. You can't just go like you did last life and go, hey, I'm going to bubble while 4 people are looking at me. It can't be generic like that. And it can't be it can't be on cooldown like this. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Barrier activated.
What's this bubble for? At this point, you're just throwing it out because you're low health. Which, that's better than your previous bubbles. Like, if you really think you are going down, yes, just dropping a bubble is better than not, because at least it exists on the field, but...
Re-engaging. For red fireworks, use a strong
Okay, what do we got? We've got high ground. I like it. I like me some high ground. Are you going to sneak up on them on the right? Are you going to wait for your Reaper? Please wait for your Reaper. They mostly get the first half of this point for free. It sucks, it's just reality. You have no poke phase, you do not get to peek enemies for very long. Things like that. You do not have a poke phase, you're Winston. Please don't, please don't. No, 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 no. Oh, good, good. Much better than I was thinking. Definitely didn't need to use your bubble here. You can go here and be pressure on them, and you can be pressure on them just by being here. And even if no one is in zap range, you can just go behind this cover, and it's great. You don't have to use your bubble. You just go behind this cover, and it's great. They can't shoot you, but you still have like 500 health, and they have to think about you. And they know you have your leap back in 2.5, 3 seconds. And even if you don't have leap back, you could sneak up on them. You could sneak up on them. So if they have to keep thinking about you, and some of them want to check on you, and if they don't check on you, you might sneak up on them. And if they do check on you, well, that might give your soldier an opening to hit a bunch of headshots on them because they're not strafing him, etc. Because they're looking at you. So their strafes move them like this, as opposed to like this, which makes it easy for him to hit them, etc. Okay. Hey, the stealthy 600-pound gorilla is great. And he doesn't even have to be stealthy in this case. He just needs to be like, I'm here and you know I'm here. And you knowing I'm here when you can't see me is pressure on you. It really is. Like, Winston doesn't have any actual poke, so he has to do things like that to apply any pressure during the poke phase. That's fine, you dropped your bubble because you were primaling. You'll effectively have your bubble back when primal ends. I'm much less a fan of this bubble, but we're in cleanup, so I'll just not be upset. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You don't know if he has flash. He probably doesn't because he was fighting ball, but you don't know if he has flash. Your jump was too shallow and you don't have bubble. No. If he has roll, you're done. If he has flash, you're done. If he has either cooldown, you lose. If he'd chosen to fan you instead of... whatever.
Need healing. You have my thanks.
So this is what I'm talking about the early bubble. Because you dropped your bubble instantly, you can't pursue him at all. Now, if you're worried that you were going to get flashed, okay, I understand why you dropped it instantly. But you had full health, you had a mercy here, you had a ball right behind you. Honestly, if you eat the flash, your ball's probably going to go right through you and interrupt him doing damage, etc. But this you've effectively put a leash on yourself tied to the center of this bubble, tied to this bubble projector, and you don't really want to go past it now, which means you can't pursue him at all. Like, if you'd done the, hey, I'm going to leap and I'm going to surf my leap a little with another spacebar right as I land to surf it, etc., then you're a bit closer, then you can even follow him for a step, and then you can bubble. Now, again, yes, you have to anticipate the flash and try to figure out when he's going to use it and block it, but you consistently anchor yourselves with these bubbles a little too much.
Weapon system optimized.
Hey, I want your quick take on this. When it comes to Overwatch, I think mental takes a big part in winning games. Like, trying to be too perfect can be harmful. Trying to be too perfect can be harmful. I mean, yeah, there's certainly ways I can construct that to make that a truism. Like, there's ways I can do that yes, that will be true, and mental is a big part. But, like, if we're going, hey, it's not so much about winning the game, it's about getting better, I don't mind if you go, I'm trying to do this the right way, and whoops, it didn't work out, and, I fed a little bit. Like, I'm trying to block flashbangs with bubbles. That's something I'm trying to practice, and therefore... I didn't use my bubble exactly when I should because I'm working on anticipating flashbangs with bubbles and, that caused me to make mistakes, etc. That's fine. But yes, there's something to be said if you're thinking too hard about doing things perfectly, you're not loose, etc. Yeah, there's some downside to that. I don't disagree. But mostly what we're doing when we're playing on ladder is we're trying to improve. And when we're trying to improve, we're trying to pick one thing, focus on it, and work on that thing. When we're trying to, play well, that's only when we're deciding, okay, I want to go for my new peak. And that shouldn't be very often that you're going for your new peak SR, or that should be in performance scrims. And performance scrims shouldn't be every scrim. Most of the time you're playing to get better, and that means, yes, you are focused on something. Or you can follow Blah's advice and not think and just do what the Scarf says and win. It's not totally true. I do need shot callers that I'm coaching to be able to think. I need everyone that I'm coaching to be able to think to a degree. But
Enemy contact.
there's worse advice out there.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
I need this. I need help.
QED.
You could have staggered him harder, but it's okay. This fight isn't 100% over, so I get why you're not.
Protect. Survives better with age.
Okay.
Pardon me.
You got her. Melee, melee, melee. Okay.
For red fireworks.
You don't need to just melee finish her. If you're in range, you can melee weave to preserve ammo. You'll notice you're reloading a lot, and we could get into that habit, but part of why you reload is because Winston's clip doesn't actually last very long, and you can make it last longer at no DPS decrease by melee weaving as long as you're actually hitting the melees reliably, which on her would have been easy.
60 seconds remaining.
Why are you sending them this way? If we're going to primal, we want to go here, and we want to knock 2 or 3 of them in for our team to just take down. We don't want to be knocking the group of them back. We want to go, hey, you guys aren't ready. I'm going to knock a couple of you in for my team to take care of. Yeah, primal here is a totally legit play. They're missing one person, so this is maximum stagger, and using an ult for maximum stagger, totally good. But go in and knock 2 or 3 of them into your team to take care of. Don't knock all of them back.
Up here. Lost control. Hey. Barrier.
Oh, and you had mine, and you didn't really combo with mine. That's disappointing. You guys should be comboing constantly. He tried, but... Primal Minefield is rather powerful.
Some healing.
I'm good with you landing here. I'm good with that, but why are we deploying our bubble? You have a Valking Mercy healing you, and the only one who was really had an angle on you is Sigma. McCree's about to when you open this, but then when you open this, you can drop your bubble.
This will protect us.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Tactical visor activated.
It's not who you want. Like, you know he's the worst target for you to be on of the people in this general area, right? And you know you don't have to be contesting cart yet? Good. You used that, you recovered some, go finish the McCree. He's a much better target. Or, you could go take out the Mercy. Those would both be valid. Sombra would also be better. Just please not the Reinhardt. If you get the Reinhardt, it should be, oh, I happen to get the Reinhardt while I'm zapping someone else. But there's 3 targets that are all definitely better, and a 4th target that is still better than the Reinhardt. So let's see where you go. How did I know? Just because you're both main tanks doesn't mean you match up against a Reinhardt the way a Reinhardt or even an Orisa would try to match up against a Reinhardt. It's not your job to check him. It's not. It is not your job to check or block out the other Reinhardt or be where he is, etc. You make his team unhappy, by turning them around, by applying pressure on them, which means that big damage cannons and big healing cannons are turned away from him and away from your team, so your team can send their big damage cannons and their big heal cannons forward, and it's great. You don't fight the Reinhardt head on. If you fight the Reinhardt head on, he has armor that makes your Tesla do a lot less, and he does more damage per second with his swings than you do with your Tesla, plus he has more armor than you. Like, you're just worse than him at ground battles. You in a direct fight are just worse than him at both defense and offense. Your bubble is worse, your damage is worse on him, his damage is better on you, he has more armor, you have less armor. Like, just don't be fighting Reinhardts, please. You could have eliminated Mercy, or you could have eliminated McCree. Instead, you're on Reinhardt.
Rendezvous at my position.
I think a lot of my viewers think that you're in all their games, TT.
My ultimate is started.
I have the right stuff.
Sneaky. Be sneaky, gorilla. Be sneaky, gorilla. They're going to go this way. Your team is going to be here. You wait a couple seconds, let them do this thing, let these guys push up a bit. Then you sneak out here, you kind of keep an eye on them without them seeing you. Then, once they're up here, you drop behind them, and you're on their squishy backline instead of fighting the Reinhardt. And it's so much better. And when you get in trouble, you just leap out towards your team, and it's fine. It's beautiful, in fact. Instead, you're walking to the front to fight the Reinhardt. To fight their Sigma, excuse me. Tiny bit better. We're leaping into the middle of the enemy team without bubble available? Say what? Bye-bye, Winston! Bye-bye! Nope, nope. Okay.
Nanoboost is ready to deploy.
Jump across. Challenge the McCree. You have Primal. It's fine. He's separated. They're missing a Mercy. Your spawns are here. Your McCree's right there. Go challenge the McCree. He's in the power position. You can't let him have it. No. No, we are not going to fight the Sigma and the Reinhardt. That is not our job. Yes! Yes! We removed him from high ground. We're great. Please jump in front of them and knock them back into the minefield. No! No! Jump past them and knock them back into the minefield. This ball is trying so hard to combo with you. He is trying so hard.
I need assistance.
That's pretty good.
Never die. The battle continues.
Okay. I'd say that was a better bubble use, but I know it was on accident at this point. Good leap cancel, or good cancel, etc. Okay. Okay. I know I've been harsh on you this game. I know I have. You have a fundamental misunderstanding of how Winston works, though, and we need to correct it. So I know I've been harsh. I really do. It's fine. Lots of people make this mistake, but My being so harsh and you having made so many mistakes means that we have so much that we can so easily fix for you, because we just need to change some high level understanding of how Winston works, and it's going to be like that. The hero's going to click better. It's going to make so much more sense. You're going to understand why people are ever like, hey, play Winston instead of Reinhardt, etc. So the big thing is we don't want to challenge Reinhardt's head on. Reinhardt is a frontline tank. We are a backline tank. Not our backline tank, the opponent's backline tank. And that doesn't mean that we just leap into the middle of them. But the first thing that means is we don't challenge Reinhardt's head on. We don't stand in front of Reinhardt's and just zap them while they swing at us. We don't go in front of a Reinhardt and his team and drop our bubble and be like, yeah, my team's going to shoot through this, etc. No. That is not what we're doing. If we're ever zapping Reinhardt, we're doing it from the side on high ground, and we're zapping other people while we're zapping him too. That we're totally cool with. He can't pin us when we're above him. He, has to pick between, sort of going, oh, you're over there. I can't really swing my hammer very well at you over there. And if I do, I'm not shielding my team and all that stuff. If you're on high ground to the side of him, like if the Reinhardt is right here, and you're right here, and you're zapping him while zapping his Sigma and someone else, sure, cool, fine, no problem. Or you're up here and you're zapping him and some other people, yeah, totally fine with me. I'd prefer you actually let him go a little bit and you just zap the people a little more behind him, because it'll generally mean that, now he's up here and his people are back here, and now you sort of reveal yourself and go, aha, and now you're zapping like 3 or 4 squishies at once, and that's even better, but it's fine, it's fine. That's what you're looking to do. But the key to this is we're looking for high ground. We're using that short 5-second cooldown leap to, as often as we can, be places like here, and 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 here. I just showed you a ton of good Winston spots all over Route 66 here. Please use these. These are amazing. These are places where if you have to pick between jumping into the enemy team, jumping over the Reinhardt, etc., and jumping to one of these spots, jump to one of these spots. They are amazing, and if you get in pressure and you don't like it, you just go, oh, I guess I'll drop. That's broken line of sight from the enemy team, and here's a mini for me. And then I could come out here again, I could come out here again, I could leap up here again, and because they don't know where you're going to go, and as long as you dropped with decent health, they have to continue to respect you. That is your poke phase. That is how you apply pressure during the poke phase, and you make them a lot more antsy, a lot more threatened, etc., than you do going in hard or jumping up here, etc. And then, I know we're on to a third thing, but your bubble is to block specific things. Your bubble is not a Reinhardt shield. Your bubble is not a, oh, I'm fighting Reinhardt, I'm fighting Briggs, I'm fighting Moira, I'm fighting whoever, let me go ahead and drop my bubble, etc. No, it is a, oh, I've come across an Anna. I have to block this, otherwise she's going to sleep me. But I need to make sure, if I can, that I do enough damage to her to the point at which she has to pick, she has to sleep me. I want enough pressure on her that she has to sleep me. Because if I bubble too early, or if I bubble, and then she has time to nade herself, things like that, she won't necessarily, I won't be able to stay on her because my bubble has effectively nailed me down to a specific spot because I have to respect her sleep, etc. Now, it gets complicated. There's mind games. I don't want to get too much into that of should you bubble before you land, should you bubble when you land, should you bubble after you've done enough damage to her, etc., because that's too complicated. The real answer, though, is you shouldn't be jumping on her in the first place. You should be sneaking up on her, and then by the time she realizes that you're there, you've done half of her health or more. So, yes, she does have to sleep you, etc. And yes, it's fine for you to bubble, but you're not bubbling when you start zapping her. You're bubbling when she's paying attention to you, starting to turn, etc. Okay, I know I've covered a lot here. I know I really have. Your big takeaway is play from high ground. You are not a frontline tank. You go behind the enemy, or you play from the sides on high ground, etc. That is what you do. It's going to help you a ton. Okay, if you guys have questions, throw them up in chat. If you guys have been enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. It really does actually help me a lot, and I really do appreciate it. It lets me go, hey, I can do more of this. I can keep doing this. I can be more serious about what I'm doing here, etc. Or if you guys are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and in there you can see what my rates look like. You can become part of the community, see all sort of cool stuff that we've got going on. Okay. What do we have? Sombra teaching Monkey how to play by hacking him when he shouldn't jump in. The McCree elimination was good. It was nice. He did the leap. He landed. He hit the melee cancel. It was good. It was good. I'm glad that he did that. It'd be cool if he could lay on his back and rocket charge straight up. No, Reinhardt cannot do that, and I'm good with him not being able to do that. That's for future temporal consultation for as low as 27 cents per minute. Thank you, Plat. Those prices won't always, we'll see. Prices will, move a bit as demand goes up, etc. But for now, I'm happy with the demand levels we're getting. Okay, that's what I've got, and that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.